Hi, this is Lava Elastic. Um, well, live. Yeah, it is. It's really confusing. In lockdown, it's you say live for a live show, but this is Lava Elastic live. Um, anyway, here we are. Hi. Hope everyone is okay out there. Lockdown is weird, continuing, continuous. It's kind of relentless. um, yeah. Uh, but you've got us for a bit to cheer you up, which is great. And I know that other people, like lots of people, are developing lots of hobbies that they never thought they'd have out there. People have started crocheting and all kinds of things. Macrame, I've heard of it. I've never tried it, but yeah. Or is it macrame? If anybody wants to correct me, feel free to send a message on Facebook because although how do you explain how to pronounce macrame? We're all clever people. We'll work out how to do it. It's cool. I'm interested, genuinely. I'm waffling because I'm giving people the chance to kind of join us as well. Thank you for joining us if you are here. Um, my name is Sarah Saeed. As you can see, I'm Sarah. I'm trying to work out which way is pointing at the thing. Sarah Saeed, Sarah loves light Saeed because I love lights. This tonight is a special one because I've actually got a lava lamp with me. So lava elastic. One of the reasons why the night is called lava elastic is because I really dig lava lamps. I mean, I'm a bit obsessed with all kinds of cool lights, but lava lamps, man, wow, they're just great. This one's pretty cool. This is a bit of a classic looking one, 60s psychedelic. Yeah, it is actually mine. It's not just a prop. So welcome to Lava Elastic. This is if you don't know what it is fully, it's a neurodiverse comedy and performance show. And for those of you that don't know what neurodiversity is, neurodiversity is a word that's used for the theory that as human beings we all have different kinds of brains. So once upon a time, they used to think that human beings had two kinds of brains, technically, like a normal brain and all the other kinds of brains, which were just basically wrong or faulty or, any of the negative words you can think of to attach to a non-normal brain. Basically, science seemed to, well, also, and, the medical field and things used to think that we were just those two things. Anyway, these days they think that we are, or they've kind of scientifically discovered that we are more varied than that. So some of us can be on the autistic spectrum. Some people have ADHD. Some people might be dyspraxic or dyslexic or bipolar. Some of those things come under like you can be autistic and be dyslexic, or so there's kind of, we all just sort of intermingle with the kinds of brains that we have. And basically we're just humans and we're all really different. I did the sciencey bit. It was a bit waffly because I'll be honest, I'm a wee bit rusty talking to people at great length about the sciencey bit because this is our first online show since September, I think. And also, I don't know about the rest of you, but in lockdown, sometimes you sort of forget how to talk to other human beings, or like, you kind of feel like the thoughts are in your head and you don't know how to get words out of your mouth, and it's almost like your face stops being able to just, communication gets tougher when we just don't do it as regularly. Muscle memory, all that stuff. Anyway, I'm finding that sometimes I'll do things like, and it happened in the first lockdown and it's happening in the second lockdown, I'll go into a shop and just sort of forget the right thing to say when somebody asks me for like to pay for something with my card, or it's like, you do the whole thing and then do I say thank you, what's the next word, oh, bye, have a nice day, whatever. All very confusing. Lockdown is wreaking absolute havoc with my ability to communicate, and I sometimes struggle with that anyway. People are popping up saying hello, which is really lovely. Hi to all of you that are joining us out there. It's really lovely that you're joining us tonight. It's really special that you're joining us tonight. Um, this is, I think of this second lockdown as lockdown two. This time it's winter. Actually, this time it's almost winter. This time it's foggy autumn. But yeah, so everybody seems to be in, I don't know if other people know the word hygge. I'm thinking of it like a hygge mode thing. So dark nights, but luckily when you're like me and you're obsessed with lights, you just put nice lights on. Sleep a lot more, which for those of us that struggle with sleep a lot of the time, actually, this can be a good time to sort of retrain your brain to know how to sleep a little bit longer and more chance to do it. So, there's some good things about it, I think. Yeah, we're all going a bit bananas, but 2020, it seems to be what it's about. Yeah, 2020, the weirdest of years. We've got some fantastic acts on tonight, and I do mean fab, like properly ace. And they're from they're kind of sprinkled from different bits of the UK. We've got a really good balance of the north and the south. We've even got somebody from the Isle of Wight. Uh, I'm going to hand you over for a moment to Sarah J, who is the other Sarah, who helps me out with all of the things I can't do tonight because I can't multitask. I can only, I don't know if it's a real word, monotask. She's going to tell you some of the stuff to do with the chat and how you can let us know that you're out there and show love to the acts and things. So this is Sarah J, or the other Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hello. It's brilliant to see you.
I nearly forgot how to bring you on screen. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Look, we're gonna work it out bit by bit this evening.
Yeah, we're
When we get back
relearning.
into the flow, we'll do all of that. So yeah, hello everyone. It's amazing to see you. I've said hello to people in the chat. I am the Sarah that is in the chat on both Facebook and YouTube. I just had to glance at them to remind myself what they were called, because my neurodiverse brain was going, oh, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, folks who have been with us before, your likes and loves and claps and stars and hearts and all of that kind of stuff are your way of cheering and weeping and hollering. And I've got to say, for all of our performers feedback to us about how fantastic it is to see those symbols appear, because otherwise, as we've said before, it's a little bit like performing to tumbleweeds, because it's all so quiet. Shh, shh. And thank you, Björk. And it's just, yeah, to have you here supporting us, loud, proud, and silent is amazing. I am both, as I said, on YouTube and Facebook, and that will be where you can find this video on the other side of the show, should you wish to see it again or show it to somebody. Those are the places that you can see it. Yeah, it is. It's a little bit like shrugging off cobwebs and the rust falling away as we go, oh, that's right, this is how we do this bit.
It really is, isn't it? You remember there was a description that I had of me trying to learn the techie bit was a bit like watching a toddler learn how to fly a spaceship. I'm kind of feeling like that confused, overwhelmed toddler, just slightly, just a bit. But like you said, it's like kind of shaking it off and going, oh yeah, I kind of do know what that does and what that does.
Absolutely.
We'll be fine. We will. Honestly, audience, you're in safe hands. We're professionals.
Absolutely.
We know what we're doing. We do.
Absolutely.
We promise. And we'll just muddle through, and you might have to have patience at moments.
Absolutely fine. I'm thinking that maybe we should tell people a little bit about, we have a donation system via PayPal, and it's the PayPal Me system. I will put a link in the various chats in a couple of minutes. Because if we were doing this live, you'd be buying a ticket, and we would then be distributing that money amongst the performers. Obviously, online we can't do that because you're not physically there. So, if you have some spare change, if you could please consider donating to the cause and paying for the fabulous, wonderful artists that you're seeing this evening. And every little bit helps. And you know, as you've probably noticed, it's been a tough old pandemic for arts and for the arts and artists, as we struggle to remind everybody that the books you're reading, the shows, the TV shows you're watching, the films, the things you're listening to on the radio programs themselves, every little bit, the books you're reading, etc., etc. They're all created by artists, and yeah, we all have to put food on the table too. So if you can, that's brilliant. If you can't, we totally understand and respect that. But any little you have would be appreciated.
Can I just say, it's a good point. It's good that you pointed that out, actually, because it's a really true thing that I suppose it's come home to a lot of us this year. That the same with comedy as well.
Oh, yes.
All of the entertainment that's been keeping us all sane this year.
Yeah.
All of the extra magical bits that happen in the world. Yeah, creative people do those things, and it's funny, isn't it? Because this year has kind of highlighted that fact that there are lots of amazing people making things happen that spring up online and stuff. And because they're all really good, it looks effortless, and it just looks like we're having a holiday all the time. But they actually do things like eat and pay bills as well. Yeah, so you know. And also, please feel free to shout about us on social media as well as to support. If you like what you see tonight, you will, because they're all fantastic. They're all awesome. They really are.
No, they absolutely are. The bill is brilliant. Some folks that are new to Lava Elastic, but not new to us, but also some returning favourites. I'm just stoked. It's brilliant, and a lovely mixture of everything as well. What more could you want?
On that note, should we bring some funny people on?
I think that would be a brilliant idea.
So do you mind what I'm going to do, Sarah, other Sarah, my lovely? I'm going to say bye to you for a bit. Is that cool?
Oh, I'm absolutely.
I'm going to get rid of myself. I'm going to get rid of myself as well in a minute. But first of all, I'm going to say bye to Sarah.
Bye. See you in chat.
See you in a bit. See you in a bit. And I'm going to introduce the first act for tonight. And she's a fellow Northerner, like me, which is nice. I'm from Yorkshire. She is too, this one, which is great. She has been on before a while ago. We're big fans of hers. And it's really pretty wonderful to have her back, actually. So if she's ready, we can bring to the screen. This is Blue Glasses Girl. Hi.
Hey up, Sarah. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Are you all right? So stupid as to have me back.
Hey, we have absolute faith.
Well, at least that's absolute faith.
I'm gonna get out of your way and let you have the screen. I'm gonna let you do your thing. Cool. I'm gonna get out of your way. This is me stalling because I've forgotten how to take myself out. I'm kidding. I'll see you in a bit.
Hi everyone. So how are we doing? Lockdown 2. Because the first one was just so successful, right? Oh my gosh. So in this lockdown, I thought, right, I'm going to be productive. I'm going to try and do a lockdown exercise regime. So I started doing some exercise prior to this lockdown. And I'll take my glasses off for a minute because I can see the reflecting. And that's kind of annoying me more than the light right now because I've got a nice dim light in the room. So shout out to all Erling's folk out there, by the way. Hey. So I thought I'm going to try this exercise routine. I'm going to really try and, crack it this time. So I got sent a personal trainer sent me like a routine, a schedule. I'm like, yes, I'm on it. So I've been like healthy eating. I've been like doing yoga. I've been doing like keep fit. I've been doing an hour every day, like proper going for it since start of lockdown. And then I was like, this doesn't seem to be really working. I'm thinking can't even say the word calorie counting, everything, you know what I mean? And then I realised my app that I've been counting my calories on, I put in that I was 8'5" instead of 5'8". Then I was like, okay, come on then. Where's the change? Get on the scales. I'm still not seeing much change. Then I just sort of sat and thought to myself, Emma, you've been doing this routine, this workout for 10 days. 10 days. I've been overeating and no exercise for 3 years. And you've been at this for 10 days. Oh, I'm expecting a difference. Oh, my. So do you remember when you were a kid and you used to play out with your best mate? And do you remember how you'd have like, I don't know what it was like for you guys, but we had like a close friend who lived like nearby, and then we'd have somebody else at the end of the cul-de-sac who we didn't play with that often, but they were all right. Do you know what I mean? And you had scales, didn't you, of like who you like to play with. So imagine if you were told now to choose one of those people, and then you were told to live with them and be with them in your household for an indefinite period. That's what we now call tier 3, isn't it? So this lockdown has actually been a bit better for me because I actually got a car just before the start of lockdown. So that means now I don't have to shop online, which is great for me as a dyslexic, because before I was buying stuff and I have no idea of weights and measures or how to like weigh anything out or follow instructions of any kind. So it saves me from either having 1 carrot or an entire 3 kilo bag of carrots. I've been eating carrot soup for the last 3 weeks. Yeah. So when I'm not doing comedy, I am full-time caring for my son, who's also neurodiverse, is on the autistic spectrum. And it can be quite hard work, to be fair. So between us, we're a right pair, because usually arguing about who's most dyslexic, dyspraxic, or who's having the best meltdown. You know, I mean, it's not competitive, but we give it our best shot. Do you know what I mean? And recently I found some vodka in his room. I mean, he's over 18. He's 19 now. So, you know, it's fine. But with the lockdown and stuff, I was a bit like, do I need to be worried? You know, like, is it okay? I don't want him to get into unhealthy coping mechanisms. So I'd sort of been cleaning his room and I found this, like, you know, near empty bottle. So I sat him down, had a word with him and said, son, listen, you know, it's okay if you want to drink alcohol, but I'd rather be upfront. Why was it that you've been drinking it? So he says, well, Mum, I need something to cope with living with you. So I went and bought him another bottle. But we do discuss the important issues. You know, it's been nice to have lockdown with him, have a bit more time with him, because he's been doing college from home. I mean, we have like important debates, you know, about the important stuff at home. Like, if you eat meat grown from your own human stem cells, is that cannibalism? And like, which cults are most popular now during lockdown and why? You know, so we get to the bottom of the important things. So I tried speed dating last week. I'll show you a little bit of how it went. So the first guy that came on, I saw this, just his eyes. So that for you only get 3 minutes with them. So I saw his eyes for 3 minutes. Don't know what the rest of him looked like. And the next guy that came on, he was like a cheery Irish guy, and I said, have you ever been to Leeds? He goes, oh yeah, I was there a few months ago actually. I said, oh, what for? And he was a bit vague. He said, oh, an event. So I said, well, what kind of event? And he went, oh, an open day. I was like, gosh, okay, well, what kind of open day? And then he says, poetry. I said, oh, wonderful. I said, so you do a bit of writing? I thought, oh, he's a creative like me. This is good, you know, something in common. And so I said, oh, do you write anything else other than poetry? He said, no. I said, poultry. Poultry, as in chickens. I'm flipping vegan. Anyway, the next guy that came on seemed a bit grumpy. He was a bit miserable. I was like, how's your day been? And it's a Saturday, you know, nice day, chilling. I said, it's been all right. And even if it'd been shit, you lie, don't you? It's speed dating, you know, everything's got to be nice, isn't it? So I was like, yeah, you know, I've had a nice day. What about you? Oh, I've been at work all day. And he was like, right, miserable like that. Well, I don't like that. No, I like somebody with a positive attitude. So I was like, well, don't you like your job? Really, I was thinking, oh, I don't think he's for me. He's a bit, you know, miserable side. And he says, oh, no. He said, I look after an autistic teenager. He's 19 and he's really difficult to be with all day. I said, hey, mate, I said, at least you get holidays and paid by bloody hour. that were him gone. But I once heard my friend saying to a mate, she said, listen, Karen, don't worry about it if you're dating. There's plenty of fish in the sea. I thought, is there it, Karen? I said, scientists are predicting by 2050 there's going to be no more fish left in the sea. So I was reading in paper today that there's been a man imprisoned because he has a low IQ and learning disabilities, and he'd been sending death threats to Theresa May and other MPs. And he said that he would kill Theresa May. Bit extreme, isn't it? And so anyway, apparently there was I'll have to find the article for you, but there was I've lost the name of the guy now. Sorry, I can't finish that joke because I've lost his name. Oh, hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it. This is bloody dyslexia for you. Don't know if any of you have heard of this. Anyway, I'll leave that one because I can't remember it, guys. Sorry, but basically, I'll save that for another day for you. So the other day, I thought, right, I'm going to be doing a bit of comedy online. I need a nice, comfortable seat to be sat in, don't I? So I wanted, one of these right nice office swivelly chairs. So I was like, right, where can I get one? I thought I need to get one anyway. And obviously with lockdown, we have to click and collect to get it delivered or whatever. So I thought, I know, I'll go on a local Facebook group. So I typed into local Facebook group, anybody got a nice swivel chair that they can loan me? And they said, and so that they can sell me. And so this is in my local Facebook group. So a lady messaged back saying, why? Have you broke yours? So I thought, how does she know I've broke mine? And more importantly, what's she trying to say? What are you trying to say, Karen? I've broke my chair. Cheeky mare. So anyway, I put, no, why'd you ask? Then she goes, well, you had one last week and that were fine. I thought, why is she talking to me like she knows me? So I said, I don't know what you're talking about. What makes you think I had a chair, Karen? So this went back and forth for a few minutes. And then I was starting to get a bit annoyed and I felt like saying, do you know what? Screw you, Karen. What are you trying to say? Just because you see my face, think I'm fat, think I brought my chair, think I'm overweight. I'll have you know, right? I'm 8'5" in my calorie counter and I've lost pounds. So do you know what I mean? Anyway, I didn't. I refrained. And then a few minutes later, a woman called Emma Roberts pops up and says, sorry, that's my mum. Same name as me, Emma Roberts. So I said, oh, right. So that explained it. So basically, moral to that story is don't tell somebody to F off on Facebook till you're certain you're not their Facebook daughter. I didn't even know it was a thing being a Facebook daughter. So it turns out I'm apparently a Facebook daughter to a number of people. But what I want to know is, how come Karen doesn't know, after 33 years, what her own daughter looks like on Facebook? And imagine if I'd have told her to do one. That'd have been Christmas ruined, wouldn't it? It'd have been like, do you remember that time, Mum, you told me to F off on Facebook? I wouldn't want that on my conscience. Thanks, guys. I've had a great time. Thanks, Lava Elastic, for having me. One more thing before I go, just have to say to you, Sarah, it's an absolute nightmare, me being dyslexic, is remembering this night. It's called Lava Elastic. I've been calling it Knicker Elastic, Lava Lounge, like anything linked to lava I can think of. So I used to go to a coffee shop in Bradford called Lava Lounge. So I've heard of it. I've been putting posts up, right, all day long and videos saying I'm going to be on and all sorts. And I kept having to take them down. Like, it's not that one. It's this one. It's not that one. I'm like, oh. And I love lava lamps too. So I'm like, how can you be getting this wrong? But the elastic, I just can't. It just, every time it gets me.
Can I just tell you two things? Firstly, I really like the name Knicker Elastic.
Yeah, exactly. I really want to be renamed.
That's for the Blue Show.
Off.
Yeah, that's the Blue Show. That's the after midnight, like, adults show. Knicker Elastic. And the other thing is, I found the name of some dude. Yeah, the Blue Show. Lava Elastic, the Blue Show.
Pay-per-view show.
It would totally catch on. And I found your dude's name was Wajid Shah. The guy that got in
what
touch with.
basically?
Shall I go off for a minute and you can share this with them?
Hang on a second. I need to look up the newspaper article. So,
Okay.
because I wanted to look up the net. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to look up this newspaper article.
I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like
for.
we've missed something out. Why did you chat? Hang on a second.
I could waffle nonsense for a second.
Let me just see what.
It'll distract you.
Yeah, I've got it here now.
Well done.
It's a rather risque joke, but I'm prepared to go for it.
I'm going to get out of the way and let you carry on for a second.
Okay. Yeah, so basically what it was is this man who's got learning disabilities and a low IQ has been imprisoned for making threats to kill by email to Theresa May. But what I found interesting about the article is it says here, and I quote, that he called Lord Blunkett a retarded blind bastard. Now, I just think it's a bit unfair, right, on Mr. Shah. We need to check his intelligence level because Lord Blunkett is fatherless and that is medically correct, isn't it? So, I'm just saying, really. And apparently they found it really offensive and found it really offensive, Theresa May said, receiving online abuse. And I was just like, maybe she knows what ableism is now. Thanks, Sarah. That's me.
That's a very, very good point, isn't it? I don't think she'd know ableism if it smacked her in the head, to be honest. Is that libelous? I don't know. Am I opening myself up to all sorts of...
Well, I don't know. I mean, Mr. Shah's gone to prison, hasn't he? And he would just been... He would have been clinically correct, if you ask me.
in his mind, he may have just been literal and practical, perhaps. If that's what you mean.
This is what I'm saying. It was
yeah. I totally get it. Hey, I totally get it. I come from, I'm a practical thinker, so yeah, I get it totally.
I was like, I could totally relate to that sentence. You know what I mean? I was just like, yeah, like it's just literal, isn't it? He's
just saying what he's encountering.
What's a shame, really, is that he didn't actually follow through with his actions, isn't it?
Holy moly! Wow,
just in the nick of time. Now that's
controversial on our first night back on Lava Elastic. No, on maybe that's one for Nicker Elastic.
Lava Elastic. Yeah, this will be the late night version, won't it? Where Emma comes in and says the most offensive thing she could think of.
God, do you know?
It's been an
I know, isn't it? Can I just say,
a warning symbol.
By the time the next lockdown comes around, we're all going to be saying the most extreme thing, and we're not going to care anymore anyway.
Hey,
so
Sarah,
to be honest, we're just jumping the gun. We're just jumping the gun.
These?
Oh yeah, I could never play very well.
Because I'm in fear that we're never going to see these again. Because when I was a kid and you used to use these at school, you play them and then you pass them to your mate next to you. You just wipe the top like that. Here you go.
Of course. Oh my goodness, you do. Yeah, nobody can play those anymore. Can I be honest?
It's like the COVID receptors, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. But do you know the funny thing is, I both absolutely hate the sound of them because I've got that really super sensitive hearing.
Yeah.
So they're in like a range that actually is a bit like a dog whistle for me. But at the same time, comedy with recorders is one of the things that makes me laugh so hard that I almost cry. So it's really weird.
Comedy with recorders.
Oh, I once saw an absolute. Oh, I'm gonna have. This is for another time. This is for another time. We've got to put another act on. I'm going to
look forward to the rest of the show. Thank you very much.
I'm going to direct message you how you can do comedy with recorders.
I cannot wait. That'll be me on the next show, guys. Watch out for that comedy recorders.
But you must bring your own though.
We can't share them. I'm prepared.
On that note, I'm going to throw you out. See you later. Thanks. Bye. That was Blue Glasses Girl. I can't breathe. And also the thought of comedy with recorders always absolutely does me in. I don't know what it is. I don't know. There's just something about them. I'm really impressed you brought one on the show. Right. The next thing that's on is I'm just going to roll on to the next act for now because we got a little derailed by coming up with a whole load of new comedy ideas accidentally. The next thing we've got on tonight is actually not a performer that's here right now. We've got a video, a short film, a video piece by a performer that I personally am a really big fan of, and have been for ages. And it's really ace that we've got some of his work on the show. It's kind of hard to describe what he is as a performer. Really, he's an actor, short film maker, director, great comedy performer. He's just all round pretty great, really. And this is just a tiny, tiny little snippet of what he does. His name is Ricky Tarascus. And what we're going to do is we're just going to show a little film that he made and is in called Hoover. And that is on next. So this is Ricky Tarascus. That was Hoover. And I just want to mention that actually Ricky is not the cellist. Ricky was the other gentleman, so I should have pointed out that that was Ricky Tarascus. It's weird. I realised while I was watching that, and I don't know about other people, but I'm a really big fan of the cello. Really, really big fan of the sound of it. But weirdly, what I noticed was I quite like the sound of that Hoover as well. I don't know So this is a thing that, for any of you that don't know, for those of us that are on the autistic spectrum, there's this whole thing around sound. And I personally am one of those people who has absolutely bananas sensitive hearing. And there are certain sounds that I hear and it feels like they're in the middle of my brain. It's like a sound distortion thing. But it's interesting because that particular Hoover, I would have thought that normally a sound in that range would drive me mad. But strangely, I found that piece really calming because I like both sounds. I don't get back to us on how you feel about that. Because personally, I find the whole hearing side, like the sound side of neurodivergence, really interesting. Also, that was just a flipping lovely film, wasn't it? I feel a bit bad I don't know the cellist's name. He was brilliant. That was wonderful, Ricky Tarascus. I'm going to shut up and introduce the next act, basically, who is also lovely. I'm really quickly, before I introduce her, I'm just going to, for a moment, can we just pay homage to the wonder that this is this beautiful lava lamp here. I'm a little bit thrilled that, because I don't normally have one like right here with me, and on stage on the live shows I can't do that really. It's a bit tricky. There's one on stage, but it's not like, you know, in my peripherals, so I can just have a look at it to like zone out for a minute while I'm trying to make my brain work for the next thing. But that's what we've got here, which is great. Those of you that also like lava lamps, hopefully you'll appreciate that this is a fairly fine specimen of one. And I do really like lights. Well, no, I really love lights. That's why it's in my name on the screen. I've also got my space projector going on that's giving me radioactive measles every now and then, or like radioactive stuff on my face. Yeah, I really like lights. I was intending not to talk a lot then. I'm going to shut up and introduce the next act. She's brilliant. And she's joining us from up north again. Not deliberate that she's also from up north. She just happens to be from up north and she's flipping lovely. She's fantastic. So I'm going to bring to the screen Helen Edwards. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you doing up there? You all right?
I'm all right, yeah, thanks. Got out for a walk today, so.
Good going. That's really good going. Is it freezing up there?
It's not too cold yet.
I'm okay. I also managed to get out for a walk today, which is quite good. Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. I'm going to get out of your way and let you have the screen to yourself. I'll see you in a bit.
See you later. Cheers. I was in Waitrose the other week, minding my own business, when my ears pricked up. I heard a woman asking a small child if he was absolutely sure he didn't want a dog biscuit. It only began to make sense when she offered a dinosaur one as an alternative. I feel about dogs the way I imagine most women feel about children. Prior to lockdown, I'd had many a blissful coffee shop trip completely ruined by squawking babies and caterwauling toddlers, but I can feel my ovaries begin to twitch when a puppy starts whimpering within a 20-mile radius. Oh, he's trying to talk, look. I don't want children. They don't want me either, so it works well. I did a terrible thing earlier on in lockdown. I ran away from a toddler in the street. I was irrationally angry with the toddler, which was somewhat unfair of me, as all it was doing was, toddling. I'd been strolling along with my headphones on, and I suddenly sensed something stalking me. I turned and I instantly, piss off, I'm trying to socially distance. There was no responsible adult around that I could see, so I sped up, hoping to throw the kid off the scent. It was only after I'd run across the road, cursing it for following me, that I suddenly realised anyone else would probably have checked to make sure the toddler wasn't going to get run over. Oops. If there's one thing this lockdown has made abundant, abundantly clear, it's that we all need to get out more. I'm self-diagnosed autistic. I decided to disclose this information to a few carefully chosen friends tonight, so I hope you all feel pretty fucking special. Diagnosed is the wrong word, though. It's not a disease. Well, it is a disease if buying a gaming laptop just so you can pretend to drive trains is a disease. Whoever named the autism spectrum after a computer games console was a fucking genius, by the way. You're all too young to get that joke. I'm very literal. My sister invited me to her baby shower. I only went along because I was really looking forward to seeing toddlers raining down from the ceiling. I brought my umbrella with me and everything. A lot of autistic people struggle with sensory processing issues. Everything's too bright, too loud, too sexy. I've never really understood the point of fireworks. If I wanted the joy they bring, I'd pay a friend to jump out and scream at me randomly. Sensory processing disorder is basically like having a permanent hangover. I didn't know this for ages because I was teetotal till the age of 21. So the first time I had a hangover, I felt completely normal. I just didn't know that my normal wasn't normal. I don't do small talk. All my speech is big talk, which is pretty fucking... Not everyone can handle it. Some people run away. One friend was so freaked out by my enthusiasm, she moved to Portugal and forgot to tell me. Making friends in primary school was relatively straightforward, although the boys' games were much more fun. We used to pretend to be racing car drivers. The premise was simple. We just ran round and round the bike sheds. We did the staggered start and everything. So high school was a bit of a shock. I was horrified to see my classmates just stood round talking to each other at break times. I hadn't received the memo, and they all just knew that this is what you were supposed to do now, as a grown-up child. I still wanted to play racing car drivers, so I did. I'm still stepping out on my lunch break to do a couple of circuits. Up until fairly recently, you were only allowed to call yourself autistic if you also identified as male. There was this idea that autism meant having a brain that was wired in an offensively manly way. I think that's grossly unfair. I know I haven't shaved my legs for a while, but I don't remember touching anyone inappropriately. At least not recently. I don't think I've ever wolf whistled anyone in my life. I can't even whistle. When I was at school, autism wasn't a thing. You were either stupid or clever. Because I was intelligent in certain ways, I slipped under the radar. I could read really fast. Couldn't read people for shit. In my first real job working in retail, I let a customer walk out of the shop with a complimentary bottle of Jack Daniels. He'd asked me to hand it to him so he could have a look at it, and I believed him. You see, with very few exceptions, I mean everything I say, literally. What this means is I get deeply offended when someone misuses the word literally. If anyone's put the work and the hours in to earn the right to use the word, it's me. I'm really bad at telling people their hair looks nice, especially when it doesn't. I never know whether people really want to know how I am or not. And if someone tells me to have a nice day, I always think we're sharing a bit of a moment. That's fine. In fact, it's quite nice. What's horrible is when I tell them to have a nice day back and they think I'm being insincere. I noticed just before lockdown, Morrison's were advertising something called Autism Hour. I think this must mean that autism only happens to some people for an hour a week. Why don't they go the extra mile, only observe it once a year? They could hold an hour's silence and really milk the irony. I was a somewhat picky eater as a child. Couldn't tolerate the texture of meat. Couldn't be asked to chew it either. I'm not saying I was a lazy kid. I just always found lollipops a bit too much like hard work. I've got a really well-developed gag reflex, which is a somewhat underrated trait in a stand-up comedian. I grew up in a working-class family in the 1980s. There was no time for things like sensory sensitivity. My parents just needed to get me fed so we could all get on with our day, you know? My mum started hiding the meat inside lots of vegetables to try and trick me into eating it. Just let that sink in for a minute. My mum hid something I didn't like inside something most kids don't like. Naturally, I went upstairs and spat the whole lot out when I thought she wasn't looking. I've never been able to tolerate having an X-ray done properly at the dentist. I can't cope with those bits of plastic they try and ram up against the side of your tongue like they're stuffing a hamster's cheeks. My dentist, to her credit, is nothing if not determined, although she gave up after getting showered in vomit for the 3rd time. She wasn't too fazed by coronavirus. She's been wearing extra PPE for years. They finally caved in and let me have a go on the stand-up X-ray machine. They got to hear one-liners at the same time, so everyone was happy. I must admit, I am still struggling to understand just how all the male autism researchers managed to miss the fact that women can be autistic too, especially given all the things women are expected to do in order to get closer to men. Ironically, though, there has to be some kind of evolutionary advantage to freaking out every time there's something in your mouth that feels like it shouldn't be there. My sensory issues make things feel much bigger than they actually are. Form an orderly queue, folks. One of the diagnostic criteria for autism is a lack of social skills. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I did accidentally call one of my work colleagues a slag once during a tea break. Awkward. So awkward, I was asked to work from home before the lockdown. The funny thing is, me and this woman are now the best of friends. All I'm saying is, experts don't know shit. I'm an over-empathiser. A lot of autistics are. I actually started training to be a counsellor and quickly lost interest. It's not a job that easily lends itself to sarcasm, puns, and gratuitous filth. A lot of autistic people engage in something called self-stimulatory behaviour. It's called stimming for short. Now, I used to think that I didn't have any obvious stims. And then it occurred to me, I don't feel complete unless I've got a mug of tea welded to my face. I drink tea the way most chain smokers get through cigarettes. But doing all these internet gigs has made me a bit self-conscious about my resting autism face. On a good day, it sits somewhere between constipated, confused, and mildly aroused. I've had quite a few people end meetings early. They thought my internet had frozen. It was just my face. Thank you.
Sorry, I was actually laughing so much at that moment, I forgot to bring myself back. Hi, Helen. Thank you so much. Thanks. Really lovely
Thank
to have
you.
you join us. Shall I let you go and get on with your evening? I'm gonna let you go.
I'm going to go and have some alcohol now.
Good idea. What else are we meant to do in these dark evenings?
Cheers, Sarah.
I'll be not that far behind you.
Yeah.
See you later. I've forgotten how to set you free.
Cheers.
Bye. That was Helen Edwards from up in the deep dark north. I genuinely was laughing too much to remember how to bring myself back to screen. That's the worst thing. I am noticing that my brain's a little floopy in lockdown, particularly today. It's been on a little bit of a go slow. We've seen 3 acts already. Well, we've had a video and seen 2 acts. Hope you're all fine out there. Still lovely of you to stay, to still be with us. That's great. Luckily the acts are all awesome. And hopefully you'll forgive me for the fact that I don't seem to be able to speak English very clearly this evening. Keep kind of stumbling over my words, and yeah, it's just, I don't know what's going on. I didn't do enough exercises, I suppose, to make sure this all works. One of the things that I did spot was I got a name for the fantastic cellist in Hoover, which was the film with Ricky Tarascus earlier. And actually, that was Ricky's son, Milan Tarascus. It's spelt like Milan. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. I'm a bit of a stickler for getting people's names right. So anyway, Milan Tarascus, who actually, funnily enough, I did know that he was kind of a brilliant multi-instrumentalist, and I probably should have made that link. Anyway, brilliant piece, father and son working together. Awesome. That was Ricky's film earlier. So yeah, we're over halfway through our acts. Actually, that doesn't make any sense. There's 5 of them, so we'd have to be halfway through the last act to be 2.5 through. I'm really bad at maths. I've got dyscalculia, so even anything that I'm trying to fathom that's anything approaching numbers gets very confusing. I'm going to cut my losses. I'm a wordy person. You wouldn't know it today, but I'm a wordy person. So we've got a brilliant actor next, and he is joining us from. He's not up north. He's not one of our northerners. You might have seen, hopefully, if you haven't already seen it, you will go and watch some of his stuff after. So he's on YouTube. He does some stuff called Jack Clay Does Comedy. Really? And he's going to be on next. And I'm going to, if you're ready to join us, Jack Clay, he's going to come and do some stuff for us now. Hey, Jack.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi. I'm going to remove myself from your screen
Okay.
so you can do your thing, if that's cool.
Yeah, you go and have some pies and gravy, you Yorkshires.
Oh, yeah. Oh, chips and gravy. Do you know, that's made me really hungry. I'm not even kidding. I wish I could. Right. I've forgotten how to go away.
Hello. Let me just set my timer. Yeah, so I'm Jack. I am autistic. Don't want to brag. Yeah, so I've kind of built, in my brain, I kind of feel like people don't like me very much. So at a gig once, I said to the audience, I said, will you be my friends? And they said, yay. Of course they did. It was a free comedy night. What else were they going to say? Yeah, so in my brain, when they said, yay, quite enthusiastically, and I said, oh, gosh, I'm turning into a children's TV presenter. Damn it! That's not the route I wanted to go down. Yeah, so I went, yeah, something special, yeah. Yeah, if you haven't heard of that show, it's a children's television show. It's amazing. They teach sign language to kids, and it's pretty good when you grew up in a special needs school system like I did. Because the verbal talkers wouldn't talk to you. They went, oh, no, go away. And then say you targeted the non-talkers, right? The sign language. Yeah, so I used to I went up to one of them one day and I went, hello. And I went, and then her reaction was like this. And I said, oh, that's not how you speak it. I went, all right, then. Yeah, eventually the teachers had to remove me because I was so embarrassing. Yeah, because I was so embarrassing. Yeah, so I also went to the sixth form at my school, and they taught us the most humiliating thing I've ever had done in my life. 16 to 19 unit, let's just say that. They taught us to cross the road. 16 to 19 unit crossing the road. And they said, all right, gather around, students, when you're allowed to gather around, obviously. I'm not sure if you saw I did that. Did topic subjects with old subjects. Is the history mashup? Yeah, so they said to the colourblind ones, they said, oh, just watch the pictures. So some of them were just imitating the red man. I went like this. And when the green man came, they started walking in the most unusual way, like this. Yeah, that walk is not how you cross the road. That is how the Beatles did the crossing on the Abbey Road. If all the Beatles were alive, I'm confirmed that there isn't. There's 2 more left. Yeah, and they just start walking like 50 years later or something. One of them's in a wheelchair. One of them's in a walking frame. One of them's just in a walking stick. And the other one, it's just walking really slowly. Everyone's just beeping their cars. You know, they're scousers. You go, look at my wheel, get out my wheel. And they said, oh, we invented this walk. Yeah, so that was my time at the 16 to 19 unit. Yeah, so as I said, I'm autistic, don't want to brag. I have a bus pass because I'm visually impaired as well. I'm visually impaired and autistic, which means I get double whammy and disabilities. Yeah, so I went on the bus about 3 years ago, I think now, with my aunt, and it was £4.50 each way to go on the bus at the time, so that's £9. And my reaction to this was, £9? It cost me £9 to go on the bloody bus! And I just walked down the aisle with like this and smiled out, bus pass. Yeah, so I was really disappointed on the process of getting a bus pass. I thought I had like a big ceremony to celebrate my bus pass. You know, one of those town criers goes, hey, here's your bus pass. And one of those guys on the silver platter goes, kneels down to you, you can't, you won't be able to see me, and says this, your bus pass, sir! No, they make you fill out a form. Yeah, not very exciting at all. Yeah, my mum lost the form that tells them that I'm visually impaired. She uses everything. We got these pack of pens a few years ago for our birthday. A 50 pack of pens. Guess how many she has left? No, you can't. It's doing it comments, well, I can't see them, so yeah, 0. Yeah, she should be more careful, really. They're more like EpiPens than normal pens. Yeah, my pen's a pen. Yeah, so we rang up doctors and said, have you got the certificate? And they said, oh no, we haven't got it. Have you tried looking in the drawer? And I said, oh mum, hold the search party. Jim, John, Jake, halt! And they said, and then about 2 weeks later exactly, hang on, I'm just checking my time. 2 weeks later exactly, they rang back and said, oh yeah, we do have that. We do have it, actually. I have one word for them, bastards. Yeah, so I'm the kind of guy that likes his own Facebook posts. Yeah, I don't do it anymore because I saw a video of someone liking their own Facebook post and I went, oh my god, I'm sadder than this person. Yeah, so I took drastic measures. I paid every single one of my Facebook friends to like all my posts. Yeah, it felt good. It cost me £109, but it was worth it. I've never felt so loved, even by my family, who are watching, actually. I do like you. Hello. Yeah, so I also want to be one of these people on Facebook. This is Facebook-related topics, if you're wondering. Yeah, so I also wanted to be one of those people on usual Facebook who comments first in the comments section. I've always wanted to be that person. So eventually, I got my moment. And it's really embarrassing. I should have looked at that post. I should have read it. And so I just went for it. I put it first in the comment section, big letters, capital letters. And underneath, I went a little clip underneath for someone going, oh yeah, bitches. Yeah, I really should have looked at the post. It said, rest in peace, Grandma. You will be missed. Underneath, I said, sorry if we lost Sam. Yes, I'm sincere. Yeah, I live on the Isle of Wight. That's where I live currently. Yeah, I'm originally from a place called Surrey. And Surrey is a very unusual place. In one town where my uncle lives, there's like 100 and something hairdressers. And me and my sister used to count them. We used to go, Luigi's, Mario's, Carlos, Afro still in style. Yeah, so when I used to go on the ferry to gigs, and one time they had this school trip in. And they're just really annoying kids. You know, one of these little bastards. Apparently they have names. Like George. George. So one of these kids was trying to get the attention of his classmate. So he was going, Archie, 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 for 10 minutes. I'm not going to do it for 10 minutes, obviously. But eventually I had to step in. You go, Archie! I said, that boy, you little prick! So on the other way, it's not that, it doesn't take that long to get anywhere. So it doesn't, so we're very proud of our motorway on the Isle of Wight. It's not a motorway, it's a dual carriageway. It's 2 lanes and it's about 500 yards. That's not a motorway. And I love it when islanders, or corkheads now, we're islanders, corkheads, we're corkheads a long time ago, now we're islanders. So I love it when islanders go to the mainland, that's what we call it. That's what we call it. And discover the world. And they go, oh, it took us an hour to get to this place. An hour? And wow. And I go, oh yeah, you'll never believe their motorway. 5 lanes! 5 lanes! How do they know which way to go? They're interactive modern signs. Oh wow. Yeah, it really doesn't take that long to get anyone. We had a town meeting the other day on the head count. You could pretty much count everyone in the whole room. It took about half an hour, but still. Yeah, cheers. Yeah. Yeah, I once had a torch or flashlight in my pocket, and it hit my penis when I walked along, I have to say. I found it a little bit of a turn on. Yeah, another joke about my penis. Had to a sexual encounter is when my friend's dog climbed on me and sniffed my penis. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll do one more joke, go about a minute. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I'm autistic and visually impaired. So, upside, downside to being visually impaired. Upside, downside, I'm never going to drive a car. Oh, thank you. Yeah, upside, I'm never going to be designated driver. Thank you very much. Thank you. I had 40 seconds left.
Hi, Jack. Am I in your way 40 seconds too early?
Yeah, I didn't have any other jokes. I was pretty much building myself. I was pretty much forgetting everything I was going to say, so I was improvising.
I was very literally just homing in on what you were saying about your time frame. I'm really sorry. Jack, thank you.
It's been lovely.
Cool. My face has been aching. That's a compliment, because you're really funny. I'm going to let you go and get on with your evening, if that's cool. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And everyone said, oh, and he's gone. Everyone said, he took me really literally there, and he just went. I was actually in the middle of saying, everybody has been saying, isn't Jack's room ace? It is. It looked really cool. I did notice there was a Marilyn Monroe in the corner even, which is pretty cool. I don't have a Marilyn Monroe in my room, and she's pretty awesome. It was a very cool room. That was the brilliant Jack Clay. If you want to watch his stuff on YouTube, he's at Jack Clay Does Comedy Really? ? Check it out because it's cool. You can subscribe to his channel. We're kind of coming to the end of the brilliant acts and the evening, and which is surprising. It feels like it's flown by. They're all great. I could talk about lights for a few more minutes, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to bring you the next act on. The next and how does the phrase go? Gosh, I said I can't speak English. I can't think in English. Last but not least. That's it. Last but not least. It's like aphasia, but aphasia. I can't remember the phrases for things. They all just like... It's a swirl. It doesn't really matter. I'll have formulated the thought by the time I come back. Right. On that note, our last marvellous Brill act tonight is the lovely Vic, or Victoria Melody. I'm going to let her speak for herself and come to the screen and do a thing, and I'm going to get out of the way and bring her in. Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Belle.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. This is exciting.
It is. It's fantastic to see you here.
Yeah.
I'm going to move myself out of your screen.
Okay.
If I can remember how to do it. I'm kidding. I'm going. Bye.
Bye.
I'm really going. Bye.
I like you there, though. Hi, everyone. My name is Victoria Melody. Look, you can see it. Oh, no, it's not there, is it? Look, you can see it. Yeah, and it's my real name. I'm not a shit musical act. A kid in school nicknamed me Victorian Melodrama. Clever, Victorian Melody, Victorian Melodrama. I slit her throat to organ music. I was walking past a builder site the other day, and this builder shouted, Foxy. And I've got to admit, I was a bit complimented. I know you shouldn't be, and I'm a feminist. And I was like, right, I'm old enough now, you know, I've got to stand up for myself and younger people. So I turned around to him and I went, don't objectify me. And he went, no, you look like Garth from Wayne's World. And it's true. I do. Right, now I feel like we've got to know each other really well, even though I can't see any of you. No idea who's out there, but thank you for watching. Right, but we know each other, right? I'm going to show you something. I hope you're excited. I've got something that men want. This wasn't a pajama top, by the way. It's real. It's a real top. Even though I did buy it from the Marks and Spencer's underwear section, but it's actually a top. Massive biceps! But I don't know why I've got them. I don't work out. I don't even do a job that gives you biceps. I'm out of proportion. When I ride my bike, I look like a triangle, like a cycling Dorito. From behind, I look like an 80s scaffolder called Kurt. And he's fit! Now I understand why my husband prefers doing it from behind. I haven't lived in London long and I do get worried about getting mugged. But it's all right because I've got a strategy for my self-defence now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to look the mugger right in the face and go, sorted. My neighbour referred to me as the brawn and my husband as the brains. We were both annoyed. I live in a boat, you might be able to see. You see my porthole, or glory hole, as I like to call it. And I can do special effects, look. But no, I don't need to move my head. Just that. Oh, it's wavy on the open seas. I'm not on the open sea. I'm in a marina in Limehouse. Fooled ya! But I like living in a boat. The best thing about living in a boat is that when families in town, move town. It's quite small, so you can't own much stuff. Like if I buy something, I've got to throw something away of my husband's. Literally, he's got nothing here. It's all mine. It's all my stuff. I didn't realise that when you live on a boat, your wee goes in the river. I can't look the ducks in their eyes. There's loads of boats in London. I'm surprised the swans aren't yellow. But I moved here because we thought it'd be peaceful living on a boat, but we didn't know about the gangs. I get too scared to leave the boat because those mallards are evil. All the birds hate one another. It's a bloodbath out there. We've got 2 swans that live in the marina who aren't yellow. We've got 2 swans who are called Fred and Rose. I've seen a cormorant swallow an eel whole, like whilst the eel was still alive. That eel is going to be inside the cormorant's belly going, Why is it so dark? And also, they're snobby. Like, we've got one duck who lives in this marina who will only eat sourdough from Gales. I tried to feed it a Greg's sausage roll once. How do you think I got that scar? So, but I started doing a bit of research, and I think I know the reason why they're all acting like this. Scientists have proven that the Thames has got more cocaine in it than any other river in the world. That's why all the birds are so cocky. They're off their tits on wee and quack cocaine. That is the best and the worst joke in my set, and I'm keeping it. But it's true about the coke. So we're going to get a bit saucy now. I mean, my arms are out. Let's do it. My husband and I have started to try and spice things up in the bedroom, because we've been together for years and it's been locked down, and so we needed to do something. So he suggested choking me, but I'm not entirely sure it was for kinky reasons. So I said, oh, I don't want to be choked, but I'll choke you. And so I put my arms around him, and then I squeezed really hard. And he was like, oh, what are you doing? That's the Heimlich maneuver. That's what you do when someone's choking. It's the opposite. And another thing we tried to do, we thought, oh, I know, let's make a home video just for ourselves. We're not porn stars yet. And but the problem is we don't shave down there. So when we watched it back, it was a bit like, I don't know how tall you are, or you people at home, but I'm quite small. I'm 5'4", and when I go to a concert and I'm really far back, and I'm trying to look at the stage, but all I can see is everybody else's hair. It was just like that. But people get uncomfortable about older people talking about sex. And I don't know why, because you can learn a lot from us. We're very experienced. Like, one tip I can give you all right now is have sex on their side of the bed. Keeps your side clean. It's a good one. Another tip, if you want to spice things up, try some different positions, like widthways in bed, or, you know, really like maybe Valentine's or something. You could go clockwise around the bed, or like you could save one for each time, like 1 o'clock on Tuesday, then the next month 2 p.m. I'm not very good at clocks, but yeah, I'll leave it up to you, your imagination there. In fact, if you want to see more of my sex TED Talk, you can go on my website at www.victoriamelody.com. So I'm going to finish on this now. Before I lived in a boat, I lived in a house, and my husband made a floor mosaic of my face, which is really romantic, apart from the fact that people have to walk on your face. But it is a nice gesture. But then when we came to sell the house, no one would buy it, and the estate agents blamed the quirky interior and the floor mosaic of my face. So we covered the mosaic with a carpet. Now, when the future owners find it, they're going to think the previous owner was Garth from Wayne's World. And that's all I've got. Thanks, everyone.
I don't want to say that you remind me of Garth from Wayne's World, but I kind of
Yeah, we're the same. Jonathan.
I loved him a lot, though. I loved him a lot. So, you know, I think that's a beautiful compliment.
Oh, thank you, Sarah.
That's like, you know, that's like a hot compliment to be compared to Garth from Wayne's World. Seriously. I'm revealing too much about myself here, really, aren't I? I had a secret crush on Garth from Wayne's World.
He was the best out of the two.
Yeah, he totally was. And also, I never got over his performance of Foxy Lady. I never got over it.
I know.
I've been in love with the song ever since, and it was from that moment. I'm gonna set you free to hang out on the boat. And
oh, thank you with my dangerous birds.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you
Thanks
lots for joining
me.
us. Always a pleasure. See you later. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
See you later. Thank you, Victoria Melody.
I just disappear. Ooh.
Yeah. Wow, we've got to the end of the show, and I've actually finally found out how to eject people from the screen and bring other people on. See, learning curve. Life is full of them. I probably could have done with getting there quicker, but you know. So we've got to the end of the acts. My goodness, I can't believe it. My glasses have steamed up from laughing a lot at gags that probably should be on knicker elastic, as we invented earlier, not just lava elastic. So this has been lava elastic this evening, and you have seen, before I tell you a little bit more about lights, just as a parting shot, you have seen, I'm going to tick them off on my list because I like to be able to keep track. Yeah, they've been on. Right, so what we saw first tonight, we saw Blue Glasses Girl, who was brilliant. I'm leaving spaces for applause here, and I'm now realising that's not really a thing because you kind of can't applaud in the same real time. Anyway, so first of all, we have Blue Glasses Girl. Then we had Ricky Tarascus's Hoover with Milan Tarascus supporting on cello. So that was Hoover, Ricky Tarascus. And we also then had Helen Edwards comedy from up north. I shouldn't say from up north for one act because half of them were. So I'm going to take that out as if that was an unusual thing. It was one of our brilliant northern acts. Helen Edwards. And then we had Jack Clay. Check out his YouTube stuff. I apologise. I'm clearing my throat a lot because I have a yardstick for whether things make me laugh a lot because they give me coughing fits, and I had a really big coughing fit halfway through Victoria Melody that kind of accumulated throughout all the acts and then sort of exploded into a coughing fit because she said something really hilarious. And so I'm kind of catching up with myself. But for me, that's a sign of the fact that the acts were really, really flipping funny tonight. Jack Clay was second to last. And finally, last but not least, we had Victoria Melody, or Vic Melody, depending. She's both of those people. So that was our brilliant show tonight. I'm going to bring Sarah J, the other Sarah, back to say goodbye in a minute. But first of all, I'm just going to give a little bit of a context for Lava Elastic very quickly in lockdown, which is to say that I don't know if we're going to be on screen or live next month. I don't really know what's happening, as the rest of you will be feeling, I'm sure, in lockdown. Where am I going to be in 3 weeks? Am I going to be allowed outside? Am I going to be able to do shows on stages in rooms with people? We genuinely just don't know. So what you have to do is you're just going to have to follow us on Facebook and stuff. You know, check out our Twitter, check out Facebook, check us out on Instagram. You know, just kind of keep an eye out. If you want to join us again, I'm sure. How would you not want to after tonight's acts? They were all blooming marvellous. Also, just another quick thing. So I really like lights, as you might have noticed. And the really lovely thing about talking about liking lights is people have started sending me photos of light fittings. So I do a thing on Instagram, which is @BarbSarah. That's my Instagram handle. Also, I'm happy to be sent them on Twitter. And, you know, people can send them to Sarah Saeed on Facebook. I really like photos of lights and light fittings. And people have started sending me them from all over the place, which is really lovely and kind of special. Other people get postcards. I get pictures of light fittings from all over the place, which is blooming lovely. So feel free to send some my way. Or indeed, if you just like lights yourself, follow me or Lava Elastic on Instagram. Because I share them to Lava Elastic quite often as well. Because, you know, it's all one and the same thing, really, isn't it? So, yeah, feel free to send me photos of your light fittings. In lockdown, I now tend to find photos of light fittings more in the many programs that I binge watch and films that I watch on Netflix, etc. Oh no, that was like an endorsement. I watch other platforms as well. I'm not condoning overwatching telly in any way. We all do what we do. It's just what I do, you know. But I do get a lot of light fittings from TV programs. And then when I'm out in the world, I can go to places like coffee shops and other people's homes and take pictures of their lamps and things. So that's great. But send me some if you want. That'd be fab. And then eventually wow, my mouth has really run away with me on the subject of lights. I'm going to bring Sarah Johnson on. On the live show, I usually have a wing woman who tells me to shut up and introduce the last act, but you guys aren't safe right now because we have no last act left. Although luckily, I know I've got to bring Sarah Johnson on, so she can be my wing woman again for now, in the absence of our usual other third member.
Hello.
Stop me, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was interested, so maybe maybe we desperately need Jessie because, you know, I just let you go because I was interested in what you were saying.
We're really in trouble, aren't we, then?
But I did want to just say that everyone tonight has, you know, our performers have been excellent. Our audience has been amazing. So much love in the room. It was brilliant. And I can't thank everyone enough. This is why we do this. And yeah, it's just been brilliant.
And you've been brilliant too. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, you're welcome. I love you too.
Doing everything that I can't do, which is most things other than just talk to camera and try and put people on screen.
You sell yourself short, my love. No, it's been brilliant. One last tiny plug for the paypal.me Lava Elastic. If you are able to send some money our way, that would be amazing. Tickets for this kind of show are normally around about £5, but you know, if you don't have that, but you would like to give something, anything is, you know, anything generously given is appreciated, and we, you know, totally love you. Even, you know, even just being here is brilliant, and your support and presence is hugely appreciated. But
it really is massively. Yeah,
it's
totally.
just brilliant to be back, both back online. It was awesome to be live, you know, last month in Brighton, as part of Brighton Fringe, at Sweet Venues. But you know, it's also great to be back here, you know. So yay for being motivated and doing stuff, Sarah. We wouldn't be here without you. So, you know, we love you too.
Oh, thank you. I just really need to, because I don't have an off switch. I just, you know, need to put it all somewhere. So, you know, you guys get it. Aren't you lucky?
Actually, one thing I do have to say, I've just noticed your screen, and oh my flipping heck, that's amazing.
Which? What
the wave. You've got a screen behind you, don't you? The wave. I love that thing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Isn't it? Yeah, and it's
and it's bunnies. Oh, it's the bunny one.
Yeah, it is. So it's the Japanese picture, and it's my screen backdrop. You know, like an old-fashioned dressing screen.
Yes, exactly that. It's beautiful. I haven't seen that before, but it's beautiful. Yay!
It's quite new. It's so that I feel like I have more than one room.
It's a good call. It's a good call when you're in one room all the time. You've got to do creative things to make it work. In
lockdown, we realised that we live in cities in just one room, so we have to.
I know.
Divide it up and make it kind of sexier and lovelier, and however we possibly can. Thank you. Well spotted. Right. On this note, shall we wrap us up and send us into the night, all of us?
I think we should.
Thank you, Sarah.
Much love to everyone. Thank you to all performers and audience. You know, it's just been awesome to have you here. Thank you so very much.
Thank you to you. I'm going to send you off, and I'm going to be behind you, leaving very soon.
Excellent.
So that was Sarah Johnson from Sweet Venues as well, who actually, when we do our live shows, we do them in Sweet Venues. I'm not going to say too much more other than to say we have a website. Please check it out. It's lavaelastic.com with a www dot at the beginning. You know that. But, you know, I like to make sure I spell everything out very clearly just in case. lavaelastic.com. Thanks for joining us tonight. You've all been lovely. Couldn't see you. You've still all been lovely. I just want to mention one other thing. No, do you know? I'm just going to not. I'm just going to not. You are free to fly, my pretties. Go and have an evening. Have lovely weekends. Have a hygge style lockdown. Pretty lights are a nice thing. Candles. Be lovely to yourselves and gentle with each other, and keep an eye on all of our social media, and come back and join us sometime, because we'll have loads more brilliant people on, and either live or online. We will be back in December. It's just a case of which way is it going to go, but we will be back. So thanks for joining us. You're all lush. See you later. This is where I can't get out. This is where I'm trapped in the show forever. I'm trapped. How do I get out? See you later. Have fantastic weekends. Thank you for joining us at Lava Elastic.